Welcome to Kiss and Chapters, where every story begins with a spark and ends with a swoon. If you love heart-fluttering romances, unexpected twists, and characters you'll root for, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so I can keep bringing you more sweet, emotional, and unforgettable stories. Let's fall in love with every chapter, together. Chapter 1. I woke up in a cliché novel? The worst wake-up call ever. Wendy Chou's last memory was of her cramped apartment, her phone's glow illuminating the words Cold CEO's contract wife at 2 a.m. before she passed out from exhaustion. So why was she now blinking up at a crystal chandelier the size of a small car? Miss Wendy? Are you unwell? A woman in a sleek black dress, who looked like she'd stepped out of a Rich People Monthly spread, leaned over her. Wendy's brain short-circuited. This isn't my life. This isn't even my face. Her reflection in a nearby mirror confirmed it. Long, silky hair, perfect makeup, a designer dress that probably cost more than her rent. Oh no. Oh no. She'd transmigrated into the novel. And not just any character. She was Wendy Chou, the female lead's forgettable best friend who appeared twice before vanishing forever. The realization, James Huang, the doomed second lead. A deep voice snapped her back to reality. Lena, I respect your decision. I just hoped for a different answer. Wendy's head whipped toward the sound. There he was, James Huang, the novel's tragic second lead. Tall, unfairly handsome with a smile that could melt glaciers. Doomed to pine after the female lead forever while the cold CEO got the girl. Right now he was being rejected in the novel's most infamous scene. I'm sorry, James. My heart belongs to Daniel, Lena, the female lead, said softly. Wendy's stomach dropped. In the novel, this rejection sent James into a self-sacrificing spiral, leading to his depressing off-screen ending. I can't let that happen. The blurt heard round the world. Before she could think, Wendy lunged forward, grabbed James' arm and blurted. James, I've liked you for years. Silence. Dead, crushing silence. Lena's eyes widened. The CEO Daniel looked like he'd swallowed a lemon. And James stared at her like she'd just announced she was secretly an alien. Oh God. What did I just do? James' response. The smile that broke the internet. Then he smiled. Not a polite, oh crap, how do I handle this, smile. A real, heart-stopping, dimple-showing smile. Wendy. He chuckled, rubbing his neck. I had no idea. Lena squealed. Finally. Someone sees how amazing you are. Wendy's soul left her body. This wasn't the plan. The plan was to gently nudge him toward therapy and self-worth. Not this. The aftermath. Panic mode activated. As the party buzzed around them, because of course this happened at a high society gala, Wendy tried damage control. Wait, I mean not like you, just like as a person. James tilted his head. So you don't have feelings for me? Lena kicked her under the table. Too late. James' expression shifted. Something warm and unreadable. Then let's talk. Properly. He offered his arm. Dance with me. Wendy's brain short-circuited again. Oh no. I've doomed us both. The first spark. As they stepped onto the dance floor, James' hand settled on her waist, his voice a whisper. You're a terrible liar, Wendy Chou. And just like that, the plot derailed forever. Chapter 2. Why is he taking this seriously? The morning after the blurt heard round the world. Wendy Chou woke up with a gasp, clutching silk sheets that definitely weren't hers. Please let yesterday be a dream. Please let me be back in my sad apartment with my sad instant noodles. Then her phone buzzed. 17 missed calls. 42 unread messages. All from Lena Chin, the female lead of this ridiculous novel world. The latest text. Lena, did you two kiss yet? Wendy groaned and face planted into a pillow. Nope. Still trapped in romance hell. The walk of shame, but make it fancy. Wendy shuffled into the penthouse kitchen because apparently this version of her was rich, only to freeze mid-yawn. James Huang stood by the espresso machine, wearing a stupidly soft-looking sweater and an even softer smile. Morning. I made you coffee. He slid a cup toward her. Double shot oat milk, 1 sugar. How you always order it. Wendy's brain short-circuited. When he remembered her coffee order. 2. He was in her apartment. 3. Why was he in her apartment? She said intelligently. Not that I'm not grateful, but why are you here? James sipped his own coffee, eyes twinkling. You gave me a key last year. Said I was family. Wendy choked. Oh no. Novel Wendy was that close to him. Damage control spoiler. It fails. Wendy spent breakfast mentally drafting her. It was a joke speech, but James kept derailing her. She tried. About last night. I might have exaggerated. He countered. You literally said for years. That's specific. She attempted. I was drunk. He raised an eyebrow. You were holding sparkling water. Lena chose that moment to burst in like a rom-com sidekick, grinning. So, when's the wedding? Wendy wished the floor would swallow her. The female lead's betrayal. Wendy pulled Lena aside. You're supposed to be in love with Daniel. Why are you shipping me with James? Lena shrugged. James is sweet, hot, and treats people like they matter. Daniel's got the emotional range of a teaspoon. You saved him. I didn't save him. Wendy flailed. I blundered him. Lena patted her cheek. Same difference. James counterattack. The overly sincere text. After escaping breakfast, Wendy's phone buzzed. James, since we're being honest, I like you too. Let's try this. Attached was a selfie of him holding a puppy because of course he had a puppy. Wendy stared at the screen. This man is weaponizing sincerity. She typed, this is a mistake. But autocorrect changed it to, Wendy, this is a mustache-flushed face. She screamed into a couch cushion. The CO's warning. Just as Wendy contemplated faking her own death, Daniel Lee appeared in her office doorway. The novel's cold, domineering CEO looked at her like she was gum stuck to his shoe. Stay away from James. He doesn't need your charity. Wendy bristled. It's not charity. You pitted him, Daniel sneered. I won't let you play with his feelings. Before she could protest, James' voice cut in. Daniel. Back off. James stepped between them, his usual warmth replaced by something dangerously calm. The two men locked eyes, a silent battle. Daniel scoffed and walked away. James turned to Wendy, smile returning. So, dinner tonight. Wendy's resolve crumbled. Oh no. I'm in trouble. The fake dating proposal. That night, James dropped a bombshell over dessert. My parents are visiting next week. They've heard all about you. He grinned. Want to fake date for real? Wendy's fork clattered onto her plate. What? James leaned in, whispering, you do owe me for that public confession. Wendy was so screwed. Chapter 3. Fake dating the guy I confessed to. The Parent Trap. Wendy Chou had faced many horrors in life. Her Wi-Fi disconnecting during a drama's climax. Running out of boba mid-sip. But none compared to James Huang's mother clapping her hands and squealing, finally, the second they walked in. Mrs. Huang pulled Wendy into a hug so tight she saw her ancestors. We thought James would die alone with only his books. James sighed. Mom. What? You did cry when the bookstore closed. Wendy bit her lip to keep from laughing. James shot her a look. Half exasperation, half fondness. Oh no. He's cute when he's embarrassed. The fake dating rules, that nobody follows. Over tea, Wendy whispered, we need ground rules. James nodded solemnly. Rule 1. No falling in love. Obviously. Rule 2. If my mom asks about grandkids, we're both jumping out the window. Wendy snorted. Deal. But then James' fingers brushed hers as he passed a cup, and her traitorous heart skipped. This is fine. Everything's fine. The CO's revenge plot. Meanwhile, across town, Daniel Lee scowled at his laptop. On screen, security footage of James and Wendy laughing together. His assistant cleared her throat. Sir, the board meeting. Cancel it. Daniel zoomed in on Wendy's smile. I need to fix this. Cue evil spreadsheet of sabotage. The party disaster. The Huangs hosted a garden party to celebrate the new couple. Wendy, stressed, gulped champagne like water. Big mistake. Because when Daniel accidentally bumped her, she stumbled, right into James' arms. The crowd awed. James steadied her, lips at her ear. Fake dating requires fake balance. Wendy's face burned. Shut up. Then, Daniel struck again. James, isn't Wendy exactly your type? He smirked. Quirky, clumsy, fake? Silence. James' grip on Wendy tightened. Funny. I thought your type was loyalty, but here we are. A snap. Daniel's eye twitched. They almost kiss. Later, under the fairy lights, tipsy Wendy mumbled, "Why'd you defend me?" James tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. "Maybe I don't like seeing people hurt my fake girlfriend." That's, her gaze dropped to his lips. Weirdly sweet. They leaned in. Bang. Lena kicked open a bush, grinning. Oops. Didn't see you there. Wendy yelped. James sighed. Somewhere Daniel flipped a table. The glitch. That night, Wendy's reflection flickered. For a second she saw her real face. Then a voice hissed in her mind. Warning. Plot deviation at 38%. Consequences, erasure. Wendy's blood ran cold. Chapter 4. The plot is fighting back? The glitch that started it all. Wendy Chou stared at her reflection in the bathroom mirror, gripping the marble sink until her knuckles turned white. Warning. Plot deviation at 38%. Consequences, erasure. The robotic voice in her head had been repeating the same phrase for 3 hours straight. She splashed cold water on her face. Hey brain. Either shut up or start making sense. The voice responded by sending a jolt of pain through her temples so sharp she gasped. James' voice came from the doorway. Wendy? She spun around, forcing a smile. Just admiring the bathroom tiles. Super nice grout work. James frowned. You've been in here for 40 minutes. I'm very invested in grout. He stepped closer, eyes scanning her face. You're pale. It's called porcelain skin, James. Look it up. His hand hovered near her shoulder, hesitant. If something's wrong. Nope. Perfect. Never better. She sidestepped him. Let's go eat non-suspicious foods. As she fled, the voice hissed. Correct deviation. Return to original plot. Wendy's stomach dropped. Original plot equals James gets heartbroken. Original plot equals Daniel gets the girl. Original plot equals I don't exist here. The system's cruel demands. That night, words burned across her vision like subtitles from hell. System alert. Primary objective. Restore romance plotline. Current targets. 1. Encourage Lena Chin to reconcile with Daniel Lee. 2. Distance self from James Huang. Failure penalty. Memory wipe plus gradual physical erasure. Wendy's breath caught. Memory wipe? Erasure? She grabbed her phone and texted the one person who might understand. Wendy, Lena. Emergency. Need to talk. Lena's shocking revelation. Over coffee the next morning, Wendy blurted, "What if I told you this world isn't real?" Lena sipped her latte. "I'd say finally someone admits it." "Wait, you know." "Duh." Lena rolled her eyes. "I've always known. The real question is, why are you just realizing now?" Wendy's jaw dropped. Lena leaned in. "Look, I've been stuck in this CEO meets secretary trope for years. Do you know how boring it is to be the female lead? I've been rooting for you to shake things up. But the system is a glorified alarm clock." Lena waved a hand. "Ignore it. Date James. Burn the plot to the ground." Wendy stared. "You're not in love with Daniel?" Lena snorted. "That emotionally constipated icicle? Please. I'm just here for the free spa days." James knows something's wrong. Meanwhile, James had noticed. Wendy canceling their fake dates. Her flinches when he touched her. The way she now avoided looking at him directly. So he did what any rational man would do. He showed up at her apartment with a 6-pack of beer and a determined expression. "Talk," he said, kicking the door shut behind him. "Now." Wendy panicked. "About what? You've been acting like I've got the plague for days." He stepped closer. "Did I do something?" "No. It's not you." "Then what?" His voice cracked. "Because this," he gestured between them, "feels *real to me." Sis. Wendy's breath hitched. The system punished her honesty with another stabbing headache. She doubled over. James caught her. "Wendy." "I'm fine," she gasped. "Just need air." He wasn't buying it. "You're lying." And then the glitch happened. For 3 full seconds, Wendy flickered out of existence in his arms. James froze. What the hell was that? This. The system's final warning blared. Last chance. Kiss Daniel or be erased. Wendy looked up at James, his confusion, his fear, the way he still hadn't let go of her. James, she whispered. What if I told you I wasn't supposed to be here? Chapter 5. Kiss the CEO or disappear. The ultimatum. The system's voice was no longer a suggestion. It was a death knell. Final warning. Kiss Daniel Lee within 24 hours or face erasure. Wendy's reflection in her bedroom mirror flickered like a dying light bulb. 1 second there, the next translucent. This is bad. This is so bad. Her phone buzzed. Lena, gala tonight. Daniel will be there. Perfect chance to lip lock and shut the system up. Wendy groaned. Wendy, I can't just kiss him. Lena, would you rather vanish? Wendy, I hate this. Lena, wear the red dress. He's weak for red. Wendy threw her phone across the room. James is done with secrets. James Huang had 2 rules in life. 1. Never trust a man who doesn't read books. 2. Never let go of someone you care about. And yet Wendy was slipping through his fingers. Literally. He barged into her apartment again and cornered her against the kitchen counter. Enough lies, he growled. You flickered, Wendy. Human beings don't flicker. Wendy's pulse skyrocketed. Maybe you need glasses? Try again. She swallowed hard. Hey. Hypothetically, what if I told you we're all characters in a novel? James didn't even blink. I'd ask what genre. Rom-com. Makes sense. He nodded. Daniel does have main character energy. Wendy gaped. You're not freaking out. I saw you glitch. James shrugged. At this point I'll believe anything. Then his expression darkened. But if this is a story, why are you disappearing? Wendy hesitated. I messed up the plot. How? I wasn't supposed to fall for you. The words hung between them, raw and terrifying. James' breath caught. Say that again. Before she could, the system punished her honesty with a head-splitting crack. Wendy collapsed. James caught her, just as her hand turned semi-transparent. Oh my God, he whispered. The gala from hell. Somehow Wendy still had to attend the stupid gala. She wore the red dress, traitorous Lena's suggestion. James hadn't let go of her arm since the apartment. And Daniel smirked the second he saw her. Miss Chou. Finally coming to your senses. Wendy's stomach churned. Something like that. James' grip tightened. Don't. She shot him an apologetic look. I have to. Then she walked toward Daniel. The almost kiss that broke the internet. Daniel pulled her close. Knew you'd see reason. Wendy closed her eyes, mentally preparing to kiss the man she loathed. Bang. A chair crashed to the floor. James stood, fists clenched, eyes blazing. No. The crowd gasped. Daniel sneered. This doesn't concern you, second lead. James snapped. Her name is Wendy, he snarled. And if you ever touch her again. Then the system glitched. Lights flickered. Music warped. And for 3 horrifying seconds, everyone froze. Except Wendy. Except James. And Lena, who winked at them. Took you long enough, she mouthed. The choice that changes everything. The system's voice crackled like static. Warning. Plot irreversibly altered. Final option. Choose your ending. Option 1. Kiss Daniel. Restore the original plot. Survive, but forget James. Option 2. Kiss James. Rewrite the story. Risk vanishing forever. Wendy's gaze locked onto James. His lips parted. Wendy. She ran. Not toward Daniel. Toward James. And then, the world went white. Chapter 6. The ending we write. White noise. Wendy Chou opened her eyes to static. Not darkness, not light, just endless, buzzing static like a TV stuck between channels. Am I dead? She croaked. A familiar voice cut through the noise. Not dead. Just unwritten. Lena Chin strolled into view holding a cup of bubble tea. Wendy blinked. Why are you? How are you? What is happening? Lena sipped her drink. Relax. You're in the narrative void, where deleted plotlines go. She smirked. Nice place to visit, wouldn't want to live here. Wendy's hands trembled. James, where's James? Oh, him. Lena's grin turned wicked. Let's just say, he's rewriting the rules. Meanwhile, James versus System. James Huang was pissed. He stood in the frozen gala, gripping the edges of a glitching table, yelling at the sky. Give her back. The system stuttered. Cannot comply. Subject, Wendy, has chosen non-canon ending. I don't care. James slammed his fist down. You want a plot? Fine. I'll be the male lead now. And then he did the impossible. He picked up a pen. Why was there a pen? Who cares? And wrote on his own hand. Wendy comes home. Our home. The system screamed. The choice. A new story. Back in the void, Lena offered Wendy a contract. Sign this and you can go back, but not to the old story. To a new one. Wendy squinted at the fine print. By signing you agree to 1. Permanently replace Cold Sio's contract wife with second lead strikes back. 2. Never complain about rom-com cliches again. 3. Kiss James within 24 hours of return, mandatory for narrative symmetry. Wendy snorted. Who wrote this? You. Lena winked. I have many hidden talents. Wendy signed. The void exploded in light. The return, Meet Cute 2.0. Wendy woke up in a bookstore. Not just any bookstore, Huang and Sons, the family shop James always dreamed of opening. And there he was, James in glasses shelving novels. No gala. No Sio. Just them. He turned, spotting her. Can I help you find? Then he stopped. His breath hitched. Wendy. He remembers. He grinned. Depends. Do you have romance in the fiction section? Or is it non-fiction now? James dropped the books. You're here. Took a detour, she admitted. Had to edit some things. He crossed the distance in 2 strides, cupping her face. You idiot. Then he kissed her. It was better than any trope. Epilogue. The story they stole. 1 year later. Daniel Lee got therapy and a very patient girlfriend. Lena opened a romance novel cafe, and still meddled daily. And Wendy never glitched again. Except, maybe once, when James whispered, I love you, against her lips under the bookstore's happily ever after banner. But that was real. Bonus chapter, the second lead strikes back again. The book launch. 1 year later. Wendy Chou stood in the center of Huang and Sons bookstore, surrounded by fairy lights and a crowd of readers clutching copies of her debut novel, How to Accidentally Seduce the Male Lead's Best Friend. James leaned against the signing table, grinning. Still think this is too meta? Shut up, Wendy muttered, scribbling her name on a book. I still can't believe you convinced me to publish our love story as fiction. Correction. He plucked the pen from her hand. I convinced you to let me publish it. The crowd awed as he kissed her temple. Lena, now their self-appointed publicist, yelled from the back, sequel when? Daniel's redemption arc. Across the room, Daniel Lee nursed a coffee, glaring at the hashtag Team James tote bags for sale. Wendy nudged him. You came. Lena blackmailed me, he grumbled. With what? My Taylor Swift fanfic drafts. Wendy snorted. Karma's beautiful. Then, plot twist, a shy woman tapped Daniel's shoulder. I loved your villain redemption subplot. Daniel blinked. That wasn't in the book. I know, she whispered. I added it. Wendy's jaw dropped. Wait. Are you? The woman winked. Just a reader passing through. Then she vanished into the crowd. The glitch that started it all again. That night Wendy bolted upright in bed. James. The system, it spoke to me. James groaned, half asleep. Tell it we're on honeymoon. No, listen. She shook him. Asterisk, it said, new story detected. Genre, mystery. Protagonist, you. James sighed. Lena's never getting another latte. For sequel bait. Wendy's phone buzzed. An unknown number. Miss me? L. Attached was a photo of Lena grinning in front of a neon sign. Transmigration HQ.